PLR products provide an excellent earning opportunity. This whole course is going to tell you how you can maximize your revenue and your earning opportunities from using private label rights material. It's a fantastic invention for internet marketers, and it's one that will help to save you a lot of money and also in the process make you a lot of money. If you use PLR products well, then what you can do is dramatically reduce the product development life cycle. So this means if I start creating a product today, it may be 2 to 3 weeks before it's completed. Could be longer depending on the complexity of the problem. If I buy a PLR product, I can find that 2 to 3 weeks creating a product could dramatically shorten to maybe as much as half a day or a day, or possibly even less depending on the quality of the PLR. But at the most it'll be a day. So you can see you can massively reduce the amount of time it takes you to create a new product, which means that you can get profitable products to market quickly. So if I'm doing 2 products a month, it takes me 2 weeks to create a product. So 2 products a month means I'm doing 24 a year. That's not really that many, is it? You know, if each one makes me $10 a day, that's what, $240 a day. However, with PLR products, if I can do 1 per day, yeah, in a week I do 5. I've taken the weekend off, so Monday to Friday I've done 5. So that means in a month I've got, assuming 4 weeks in a month, instead of just 2 products, I've got 20. You know, the potential profit is much higher because you can get products out to the marketplace an awful lot quicker, and being able to respond that quickly to niches that you found and so on and so forth means that you can potentially earn a lot more money. Basically, PLR is cheap product creation. You could hire somebody to ghostwrite you something and it'll be unique, but the trouble is that's likely to cost you an awful lot of money. A decent ebook will cost you $500 to $1,000. A decent video series, $500 to $2,000, perhaps more. So with PLR, you could buy a decent quality video series for pennies on the dollar by comparison to how much it will cost you to get it made for yourself. But finding good private label rights can be a bit tricky, and that's one of the things we're going to address in this program. I'm going to show you some of the best places to find PLR from. If you get bad PLR, it's going to be a nightmare for you to rewrite. It's going to take ages, and that's really not what we're after. What we're after is being able to rapidly turn around the PLR product and get it out into the marketplace in order for us to earn from it. So you've got to find good quality PLR in order for you to be able to do that. But if you use PLR right, you can really maximize your income, and the earning potential is quite staggering. It really is. You'll start to understand that as you go through this. And as I said to you just a few minutes ago, if you compare the fact that you could get 5 products a week to 1 every 2 weeks, then you can instantly see the difference in potential revenue. This course is going to teach you an awful lot of information. We're going to talk about private label rights, what it is, and actually why it's so good. We've touched on that, but I'm going to go into a bit more depth and tell you why it's something that you really shouldn't be missing out on. I'm going to show you what PLR is, show you what all the rights are, the various rights that you can get, and how they affect your use of it. I'll tell you which ones are the best ones and which ones are ones that you ought to go, not sure about that. There's certain rights within PLR that instantly devalue the product, and it's worth your while not buying it and waiting a couple of weeks. But there are some rights that make PLR products extremely valuable. We're going to talk about those. I'm going to show you some of the best places to find private label rights products. Now, there's a lot of potential sources, but there's a couple that really stand out as being the best places. I'm going to show you how you can make money from PLR products. You may have a PLR product, but what will the herd do? The herd is going to go out there, put the PLR product, the sales page and everything up on the internet, make no changes. Yeah, they may make a few sales, but I'm going to show you how to really maximize how much you can earn from it. I'm going to show you how to rewrite PLR as well. Now, not everyone knows how to do this, so what I want to do is point out the major points that you have to rewrite if you want maximum profit. I'm going to show you a bit more information about that, which ones to look out for and which ones to do. I'm also going to show you a little bit about PLR articles. Now, PLR articles, again, very, very popular, and some people will use them. In fact, a lot of people should be using them, but I want to show you how to use them properly, again, for maximum profit. And we're also going to talk a little bit about selecting a PLR membership site if that's what you want to do. There are a lot of PLR memberships out there, some good, some not so good. But we're going to talk about the criteria that you need to have when you look at PLR membership sites and help you find one that really works well for you. And of course, there's going to be a lot more. It's a fully featured course. There's a lot of information. You may want to get a pen and paper, but follow me through step by step. Follow us through the steps, do the steps as and when we talk about them, and you'll learn how to use PLR and you'll make money from it. And that really is what this course is all about. PLR stands for private label rights. It's basically, very simply, where you buy a product somebody else has created and sell it and keep the profit. If you think about it, if you go into a supermarket, you will see private label rights in a supermarket. Supermarket own brand products are effectively private label rights. They buy private label rights to somebody else's baked beans, for example, and sell them with their label on it. Even, I live in a tiny little village, and even my little village shop has private label rights products in there. It has nice expensive cakes and things like it there in it with its name on it. So private label rights is actually surprisingly common. You'll see it both on and offline, but it was brought online a few years ago and has proved to be fantastically successful, both for the people who produce private label rights products and for people like us who use them. So basically, you buy a product someone else has created and you sell it as your own. What the good thing for you is you don't pay the full price it would cost you if that person had developed a product just for you. You pay a fraction of that because they're selling private label rights to many people. Now, typically, just as a rule of thumb, the wider the distribution of the private label rights, i.e. the more people they'll sell it to, the lower the price. The higher the price, the less people will be sold the private label rights. And those are the ones that are most valuable to you. But we'll talk about those more in a moment. You walk into any supermarket pretty much anywhere on the planet and you will be able to find private label rights products. Just as I said, you'll see all your Heinz baked beans, your Heinz tomato sauce, your Heinz ketchup, things like that. If you go and look, you'll find the store brands, and they will be private label rights products. So there's companies selling these private label rights products to their own products. Now, I do remember hearing a story some years ago, it was quite a while ago, about a company that produced something like, for example, baked beans, and they wanted to maximise their profit from it, didn't know what to do, so they thought, well, we'll let other people put their labels on it, and that effectively invented private label rights and made a fortune for them, because suddenly not only were they selling their own baked bean brands in stores, but the stores were paying them money to put their own label on it and sell their own brand baked beans. So it's everywhere, but online it's very, very profitable. For you, the big benefit is it's a cheap way to get high quality products. Instead of paying thousands of dollars for someone to create your product, you can usually pick up decent quality PLR for $30, $40, maybe even $50. Sometimes it'll cost you a couple of hundred if it's really good and very limited distribution. But you've got to think about all that. But it's a cheap way to get high quality products. So why on earth would you choose a private label rights product? Why not go out there and create your own product? Well, one of the main benefits is it reduces the product creation timescales. As we talked about in the previous slide, if you create a product yourself, it may take, say, 2 weeks to create a product. In a year, that's only 24 products. With private label rights, you could potentially do one a day. So say you take weekends off, and there's 4 weeks in the month, that's 20 per month. 20 times 12, that's lots. That's a lot more products in a year. So you can instantly see that in a month you're pretty much creating the same amount of products as it would take you a year to do otherwise. So that's why private label rights is so good. And if you think about it, if you thought, well, I need 100 products in order to make my $5,000 a month to break free from my job, well, if I need 100 products and I'm doing one every 2 weeks, that's 20 a year, 24 a year, so that's 4 years. But if I'm doing one a day using private label rights, it's not even a year and then I'm there. So that's the real benefit of private label rights. It's also a very cheap way for you to test the market. If you found a niche and you think, I'm interested in that niche, buy a private label rights product, rebrand it, rewrite it a bit, make it your own, and sell it into the market. See how it works. If it works well, go and create other products, get unique products created. But it means that I can test the market using private label rights without having to spend $500, $1,000 on getting someone to create me a product. I can just buy something PLR, repackage it, use it as a list builder or whatever it might be to test that market, see whether there's anyone there that will bite and buy, and if there is, bang, you can create more in-depth or more expensive products. Fantastic. It also provides a very quick way to enter a market. Again, this sort of comes back to our first point here. If you think about it, and it takes you 2 weeks to create a product, if I do some research today and I've uncovered 10 hot niches that I think, wow, fantastic, these are really going to make me money. Traditional product development, 2 weeks of product, I'm looking at, 5 months before I've covered those 10 niches. By which time I've probably found hundreds of other niches and I'm super excited about it. But if I've taken that PLR stuff and I've created, I've say 10 niches, did I say? I said I found 10 niches. One a day with PLR, that's 2 weeks. 2 weeks and I'm there. And I can really turn over products and enter marketplaces very, very quickly. It's also, if you're selling a product and you want some bonus items, private label rights is actually very good. The reason being, if you go for try and create your own products, again, it takes more time. It increases the product development timescales. But you may not want to put on master resale rights or resale right products as bonuses because it's advertising other people's businesses. So what you could do is buy some PLR, give it a little bit of a refresh and a rewrite, and there you are. Suddenly you've got your bonus items and they're all your own unique products, which of course adds value. Because if somebody looks at your sales letter and goes, well, I've got that bonus, oh, I've got that bonus, oh, I've got that bonus, oh, I've got that bonus, what are they going to do? They're going to turn around and go, well, it's not really worthwhile. I've got most of those. People, no matter what you may think, people look at the bonus items, and if they don't feel there's value in the bonus items, they may not buy. So you've got to make sure if they're unique, then you've made sure that they're yours. They know they can't get them anywhere else, and they know it's good value. Now the other thing, providing the rights permit it, you could use a PLR product as a giveaway to build a list. So you rewrite it, you get a nice cover graphic done it, you put it on the squeeze page, and there you are. Drive traffic to the squeeze page, build yourself a list. What do you have at the end of it? Magic. You've got a profitable list built from a cheap product. It's a great way for you to provide value for your buyers easily. If you've got a list, you can take a private label rights product and sell it to that list. Simple. It's very, very easy for you to do. It can provide a lot of value and for you a lot of money. And one of the real benefits I feel that PLR has is it provides inspiration to you for your own products. So quite often I'll take a PLR product and I may end up with 2 or 3 products out of it. I may feel, well, that chapter actually is really good. What I could do is if I took that and made it into this other product, I could sell that on as well. So quite often you find this inspiration, and as we'll talk about later on in this video series, what you can do is you can take PLR and you can make it into one PLR product can become a whole suite of products that can potentially all earn you an awful lot of money. So there's a lot of potential there, and it's something you really need to be considering. PLR is very, very powerful. It's very effective, and it's something that if you're not using it, or if you've got it gathering dust on your hard drive, go and dust it off and have a look at it, because once you go through this course a little bit more, your eyes will start seeing dollar signs and you start thinking, there's some good potential there. And there really is. We're now going to talk about some typical PLR rights. These are different types of PLR rights that you're going to find. What I've done is I've constructed a PLR rights statement that contains many of the statements that you're likely to find. What I've done is I've set yeses and nos on some of them. So the first one is sell at your own price, yes. Well, you can sell at your own price anyway. Price fixing is in fact illegal. You can sell it at any price you choose to, and this is why quite often, if you wait a little while, you can sometimes pick up some PLR products dead cheap. You can pick them up for a couple of dollars even. Yes, you can put your name on as the author. That's typical with PLR as well. You can claim ownership and copyright. That's the whole point behind private label rights. Yes, you can add and remove content as you want. Again, that's the point behind PLR rights. But on some of the others, if you're looking at master resale or resale rights, then no, you can't do this. You can't edit the content. So that's why it's here. This is something you may well see when you're looking at PLR rights. I want you to understand them all. Yes, it can be added to paid membership sites. Again, that's fairly typical with private label rights. Most people allow you to add it to paid memberships. Now, just before we go on to some of the rest of these rights aren't typically legally enforceable. You can't, if you breach these rights, I could possibly take you to court, but it would be a bit of a fight, it'll be a bit of a struggle, and would I really want to go through all that hassle? No, not really. So they're there as guidelines, and it's sort of almost a gentleman's agreement that you'll stick to it, because if you don't, you won't get to buy the PLR rights again. People will blacklist you, and it won't be long before you find no one will sell you them. So, quite simply, it's worth sticking to them because it keeps the value of the private label rights for you and for the other people that buy them. Again, yes, can be converted into multimedia products and sold. This is one that you will see sometimes, not all the time, but it means that you can turn it into audio or video if you choose to. Now again, you will see this sometimes as well, maybe offered as a bonus with other paid products. So this means you can use it as a bonus, but not if you're giving away the main product. You can sell personal usage rights to others. Again, that's very, very typical. If it doesn't say yes there, then you really ought to be concerned. Yes, you can sell resale rights. Again, typically that's normal with private label rights and master resale rights. Usually private label rights means you can do almost anything. You can sell any type of rights to it that you want. Whether you can sell PLR rights or not depends on these rights. No, you can't. So typically, this is one that you're looking for. If it says may sell private label rights, no, then that is non-transferable private label rights, which basically is more valuable because it means that the market isn't saturated with people selling the private label rights. Only the original purchasers will have the private label rights, which is of course very valuable. Again, this is another one that you want to see when you're looking at PLR rights. No, it can't be given away for free. Again, that retains the value. If you otherwise, I can remember a few years ago buying a private label rights product. Fantastic product, really good. 6 months later, it was all over the giveaways, being given away for free by people who couldn't market for toffee. And that's just a complete waste of a good product. So what's happened here is you'll find that a lot of the time in PLR rights it will state that you cannot give it away for free because people want to retain the value of the private label rights product for the people who have bought it. And again, this is the same. Can't be added to free membership sites. There's lots and lots of free membership sites out there, but again, if people are adding the PLR right products to them, instantly they've lost value. And again, this is another one. Often products lose value when they're sold on auction sites. Instantly a product goes from being high quality to rubbish because it's being sold and you can pick it up for 50 cents on eBay. So you want to make sure that it can't be sold on auction sites. Again, this is another one that's a bit touch and go, doesn't really matter too much, may be added to bundles of more than 4 products. Doesn't make a lot of difference. Yes, no. You may see one that says no or yes can be added to fire sales as well. That's someone. And again, this last one's a little bit tricky. Again, sometimes you may say, well, you can't claim copyright unless you change a significant amount of it. Again, that's designed to protect the value of your investment. But again, it says sell private label rights. I don't like private label rights where you can sell the private label rights to anyone you like, because as soon as you start doing that, it gets devalued, and what was a valuable product starts to become less valuable because everyone's got it. And you try and sell it, and most people look and they go, "No, I've got 10 copies of that on my hard drive." So that's the reason. But this is how a rights statement will typically be presented to you. It'll be a number of statements with yeses and nos next to them. It's more or less become an industry standard. now, just so it's very, very clear. You may find that the rights are presented to you either in a text file or in a PDF file. That's quite common. If you've got any doubts about the rights, just contact the site or the author and ask them. I mean, I know some membership sites are quite fussy about this, and they don't actually publish their rights very obviously, so sometimes you have to ask. But make sure you are 100% clear on the rights before you make any investment into PLR rights products, simply because you don't want to buy something, think, great, I can do this with it, and then realise that you can't, because then obviously that's going to be a bit of a wasted investment on your part. The PLR rights that are the most valuable, as I've just said, are the non-transferable PLR rights. This means that only you and the other people that bought it originally will have private label rights. No one else will do so. The most valuable are, of course, going to be those with the limited distribution and non-transferable PLR rights. You can expect to pay a premium for those, but they're much more valuable because they're not going to get saturated. You're not going to find everyone and their grandmother with a copy of the private label rights. So that's very, very important to most people. So basically, the lower the number of people who can buy the private label rights, the less saturated the market becomes. What many marketers will do will quickly just edit the videos to turn them round. Well, in fact, most of them, they won't even edit them. They'll just distribute them as is and sell master resale rights. So you can find master resale rights everywhere, but these people can only sell the products as is. They can't actually edit them and create their own products from them, which is the benefit to you of private label rights. Particularly in the internet marketing niche, you will find that if you sell non-transferable PLR rights, people will sell the master resale rights to them. Yes, you do find them all over the place, but you could use this to your advantage. You know, what if you created a PLR product, sold non-transferable, sold master resale rights to it, and it was all branded with your link? Suddenly you'd find it everywhere. Everyone would be promoting it for you. Think about it. However, if you follow this course and you pay attention to what we're going to teach you and you really implement it, what you'll find is you'll be able to outsell all of them really easily. It's entirely possible, and you'll be surprised just how easy it is for you to outsell everybody using the techniques in this course. If you know what you do in PLR, you can profit from it day in and day out. We are now going to talk about how you can rewrite your PLR products in order to make them stand out from the crowd so that nobody will know it comes from the same PLR. So it's going to be completely different from everyone else's product. And that's the key, because you'll minimize your refund rate, because people won't buy your product, realize it's the same as someone else and say, well, I don't need that, or it's similar, so they'll get a refund. So firstly, you need to get some new graphics. At the bare minimum, you need a product graphic or a front page to your book or something like that. If you're using graphics on your web page, get those done as well. You're going to need them sorting so that they're different too. Won't cost you a lot of money to do. You can find a decent graphics designer to do a whole mini site for probably around $50 if you search around a little. Well worth doing. But if you don't redesign the graphics, people are going to know it's the same. You may be tempted to use the same graphics and change the text. It's not going to fool people. They're still going to realise it's the same. You want very different graphics, different colour scheme and everything, because you really want it to stand out. You want to add an introduction if there isn't one there. If there is, you want to edit it and change it and make it unique and focus it towards what you want the product to be about. So that's quite important to edit that as well. You want to add and change a disclaimer, and also if it's got a front page with a graphic on it and title, change that as well. Change the layout, change the way it looks to make sure it looks unique, and there's no way people are going to look at it and go, well, that looks rather like that other product. But adding a disclaimer again breaks up the text and makes it a little bit different, makes it stand out from the crowd. So again, people will read through the disclaimer and it will distract them from the fact that it's a PLR product. So change the disclaimer, put your own unique one on there, or add one in there. I'd also recommend changing or adding the table of contents. So if there is one in there, change the format a bit, change the width of it, change the style of it, or something like that so it looks different. If there isn't one, add one in, because that's going to make people's lives a lot interesting. It's an extra page, and again, it takes away from the fact it's a PLR product that's being reused. I would also recommend that you change the chapter heading names. This will be reflected obviously in the table of contents. But if you change the chapter heading names, what this is going to do for you is people won't realise that your chapters are the same. So what you can do is swap them around. If it's appropriate, change the order of them. Add a couple of extras if you can, if it's appropriate, if there's a content, but make sure you change the names. And if there's any references in the text to any of the chapters, again, make sure you change those references to make sure it's all consistent. And doing this is literally one thing you do that will completely distract people, because if they go through and they see it's exactly the same headings all the time, then they're going to sit there and go, well, it's the same. But if it's all the different headings and it's in a different order and there's a couple of extra ones, they're not going to realise that it's the same content. And again, you're adding value by giving them a unique product. As I said, if possible, add new chapters and move them around. This will give a confusion effect in that people won't realise it's the same product whilst making it unique. It's going to make it into your own product, and that's what you're after. Then I'd recommend you rewrite the existing content, read it through and edit it. You want to do it by about 50%, add new content as well, change the order of it, change the wording and so on. What you'll find is some PLR isn't very well written, some of it is written in a very wordy way in order for the PLR author to be able to say, yes, it's a 10,000 word book, when in reality if they wrote it in plain English you'd find it only be say 5,000 words. So rewrite it, make it into decent quality English that's easy to read, easy to understand, and that's going to make a big difference. You can either write unique content for it, take articles, either your own or PLR articles, rewrite those and put them in there, or take other content from PLR products and put it in there and rewrite them. I mean, this really speeds up product development. You just mangle it all together into the right order, you put it in the right order in the book, rush through it and rewrite it, and you've got a new product. You can do this whole process in less than a day. It isn't difficult to do, doesn't take a lot of time. And particularly if you buy high quality PLR, then you're going to find it's a lot quicker for you to do. But present it in your own style. You're rewriting it to make it you. If you've got a particular style, write in that, or particular persona that you want to project, write in that style. You don't want it to be in this very formal presentation that many PLR products are. You want it to be in a nice, natural, chatty style that's really very approachable for people. So write it in your own personal style, but only if it's appropriate for your target market. If your personal style is arrogant, like say the rich jerk, and you're writing a product for people who aren't very confident or want to be more assertive, it's probably not going to work. Likewise, if you're going for something like the dating niche or the rich jerks type market, and you write in a wishy-washy, weak way, you're not going to appeal to people. So you've got to make sure that whatever style you're writing in is a style that your target market is going to appreciate and understand and want to hear. Make sure that the product delivers on its promises. Make sure that their problems and pains are addressed with solutions that work and are easy to understand and follow. Quite often PLR isn't very easy to follow and read through, and when you rewrite it you can make it much more sequential, much easier to follow, and much more flowing much more logically. And if you can do that, then you can make sure you address their problems. You're going to have a killer product on your hand that's going to do really well. But the key throughout is, if you understand your market, is to focus on their needs. What do they want? What do they need? What are their problems? What are their solutions? Focus on giving to the market exactly what it is they want, and that will make it the great product that you want it to be. If you don't rewrite PLR, you're going to struggle to make the most money possible. We talked about this in the previous video. You're not going to maximize your value. Many people do not bother rewriting PLR products. They just stick them up on the website as is, think that'll do, I'll make a few sales. And all they're doing is competing with the hundreds of thousands of other people that may well have it, that are also competing on price. By doing what we talked about in this video and rewriting it and adding value with some of the steps from the previous video, what you will do is create a unique product that has a much better chance of selling in the marketplace, and therefore making you maximum profit. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. I want to start by showing you one of my favourite resources for finding private label rights products. It's a place called the Warrior Forum. The URL is warriorforum.com. This is a very, very good site for finding decent quality PLR. You don't have to join in order to become find PLR products here. All you need to do is be able to click on a link and look through. Now, the reason it's so good is many marketers will come here and they interact in these forums and they use them to start their business and to start making money online. And one of the ways that they start making money online is by offering PLR products. They may write article packs or products themselves and sell them in order to raise money. These may turn into full-time businesses and membership sites, or they may just be one-offs. Quite often marketers will sell products that haven't performed well here, or may well just sell products that they've developed and not bother doing anything with. So what we're looking for is here, the Warrior Special Offers Forum. You want to click on this. Now you can come here and do a search. You need to join to use the advanced search features and search for private label rights, but it can be a bit hard to find things. So what we have here is all the offers. So what you have to do is just simply go through and find the one that you're interested in. There's plenty of offers in here. In fact, here's one right here. So let's have a look at this first one. Okay, now this one here, there's a big price reduction, 75%. Now this site normally charges $47 a month. For a limited period of time, you can get in for $141 a year. So that's pretty much nothing when you consider the price of it. Now we can scroll through and have a look at this site and you can see what he's talking about. We can go through and look, but this is all health products. They're about 30 to 40 pages each, comes with sales letter and graphics. Very, very good. You can go through and see comments. Here's a member who says they're very good. You can see here the contents are, these are the last two. And you can scroll down. Here he tells you what the next couple of contents going to be. And you can go and do some research yourself and see what the marketplace is. Again, tells you the average there. So you can see this looks like quite a good offer. And for $141 a year, it's a pretty good price, to be honest. Because I mean, you can see this comment here where this woman says it's pretty much ready to go. So well worth it. So that's worth considering, worth looking at, and worth using. So there's one straight away. So let's go back and have a look to see if we can find any others. Here's another one here. This one is on credit protection, which obviously is something that in the current economic climate people are very interested in. You can see he's only ever going to sell 50 copies. You scroll down and see it's a 27-page report. There's samples, and what that's $9. You can't go wrong with $9, can you? And there's the rights. So it can't be added to PLR or high-end membership sites. That's good. Can be used as content, yes. And can't be sold or given away with PLR or resale rights. So that's good as well. So this is probably fairly high value. So again, you can see here $9. I found a fantastic quality report that I can use. So that is just absolutely silly money, because even if I paid someone to write that, you're talking at paying someone sort of $6 a page. So that's much more than the $9 obviously it's cost you. So let's find a couple of others. I just want to show you the quality of stuff here on the Warrior Forum. And here's another one. This is another big PLR product. It's a Abundant Stimulus PLR pack with 5 products ready to sell. So again, he's selling quite a few copies of it. I think it's 500. There's 134 copies left. I think he's only selling something like 250 copies in total. But you can see you get 5 ebooks. All of this is what you get: ebooks, worksheets, checklists, quick start guides, WordPress sales letters, squeeze pages, download pages, autoresponders, source files, and so on. So there's the subject. All of these are ones that are evergreen popular subjects. And if you order it from here, you get 2 months of this PLR membership site, which gives you all of this. And what's the price? $150. So again, that's not bad again for all of this, because you are getting quite a lot. You're getting the autoresponder emails, the download page, the squeeze page, the sales letter, and the graphics and so on. So that's actually quite good. So that's worth considering. So there's only 134 left. That tells you the full rights there, which we won't look at right now, but you can go for it. So you can see there's people here giving them their feedback. Just got to wait and see. There you are. So you can see there people giving their feedback and what they are. So they're around 25 pages long. Audios are between 30 and 40 minutes, read by professionals. So there you are. You can see there. Got samples there. So again, this is a very, very good one. Here on the Warrior Forum, you can find anything from very simple PLR article packs to books to complete products ready to sell. There's absolutely everything you could ever want here in all sort of niches, shapes and forms. You'll find lots and lots here. It's worth your while coming along, having a look, and just seeing what you can find, what you can see. I mean, there's one there. There's a niche site with Sony PSP. With articles and WordPress themes and so on. So you can see there's lots and lots of these around. You can find awful good quality stuff here. Well worth checking out and using the Warrior Forum. You don't have to. You can sign up as a free member to the Warrior Forum to use it and leave replies. But if you want to actually use it properly, you have to join. It's not expensive, but it is worthwhile you joining it if you're going to post your own offers. But if you just want to come along and buy products, then you don't need to worry at all. You don't need to join or anything. Just come along and search like we have here, and you can find the products and buy them. Very, very simple. But most of the products you will find here, you will not see the PLR rights being sold anywhere else. Many people will sell things here purely here. And you saw from our first example, the PLR membership site, quite often people will give fantastic discounts here on the price to the public. So it's always worth coming to have a good look through and check here, because you'll find some very, very high value products that you can use to create, using the formula we discussed within this course, to maximize your profit. We're going to talk a little now about how you find PLR sites through Google. Now firstly, you can find PLR membership sites by just typing in PLR and membership. Very simple. The same applies as well if you're looking for any niche. All you do is put in your niche keywords and PLR or private label rights in quotes, and you will find some sites. Now you can see here we have some sites on the right here. Most of these, that one looks like it might be a decent one. Most of the rest don't look particularly interesting. These all look like they're slightly dodgy and not aimed at internet marketers. But you can see there's lots and lots of sites here. You can go and have a look at all of them. So let's have a look at one or two of these very, very quickly. Let's pick this one here. We'll just click on this one and have a look. You can see this is a fairly standard PLR sales letter. Basically it focuses on the IM niche, and if we scroll through, there's our testimonials. This is what you get: an ebook, sales page, download page, graphics, and what else you get some good books. So you can see there's some fairly good quality products here. They're only selling 250 memberships, so again that's not too bad, and it's $50 a month, which is fairly standard. So you get a product every month for that. That's not too bad. But you can see here you get the PSDs and the Word file, so you get the source documents, and that's what you want in order to be able to customize it very easily. So a few bonuses there, we're not too worried about those. And scroll down again, you can see they do a free trial. So that's quite nice, that, isn't it? They do a free trial, and then they do a if you want the free trial, you pay for an entire year up front, but you get a 50% discount on the year. So again, that's an interesting sales technique, and it's something that's very interesting. You know, probably worthwhile going for it. I mean, you can give it a try, have a look at the quality. If you're happy, then you can join for a year, and you know you've got a whole year's worth of products. There's the licenses here. It says it can be added to membership sites, doesn't differentiate between free and pay, which I feel is an issue. But you can't sell it through auction sites, and you can't sell private label rights. So this looks like quite a good bet to me. So this is one. It's obviously it's in the internet marketing niche, but let's see if we can find some other private label rights sites within Google. Here's another one called monthly content. Now, I'm not going to go all the way through this sales letter because it's pretty long, but for $47 a month, you get 3 PLR products, you get a whole load of 300 articles, you get 24 custom headers, 12 custom AdSense sites, and 3 private label ebooks. You get an awful lot more than that as well, but we're not going to go through all that because we'll be here forever. There's pages and pages of it. But you can see, as I said, if you scroll down, you're $47 a month. So this looks like a fairly strict site. There's only 100 members. They're down to 19, and well, here's a summary. They have a training, a library of PLR products, a resale rights library. If you find a PLR product that you want, they may purchase it for you. You get website scripts, articles, headers, AdSense sites, PLR books, website templates, squeeze templates, and all this other stuff as well. So again, that's not a very, very bad price at all. But you can see that already we're finding decent quality PLR products within Google. When you pick a PLR membership site to join, you need to pick something that's high quality. You don't want to go out there and get yourself poor quality products because it's not going to be worthwhile. So you really want to see a sample of the products before you join, or if they don't offer that, join, check out the products. If they're not good quality, then get a refund and walk away to the next one. But if they're not high quality, it means you've got more work to do. It's going to take you longer to rewrite them. It's going to take you longer to make them into decent quality products. And what we're after is a rapid way of turning around products and getting them out there. And that's why you need high quality PLR. It's also got to be for niches with buyers. Now, one thing with PLR membership sites is they're committed to producing products every month for whatever niches they might be. So the thing to remember here is that quite often they'll have found a niche that has what they think is a demand. Now, it may be that, yes, it has a demand for information, but not necessarily for products, which may mean that there's no buyers in the niche. It may be that it is a niche, yes, you know, watching paint dry, yeah, that's a niche, but is there anyone in the niche? That's the other thing. So, you know, you always need to do a little bit of research yourself to make sure that there is actually a market there. You also want a cap on the membership numbers. The lower the cap on the PLR membership numbers, the higher the value it is, because that means less people have the right. So if it's a PLR membership site with 500 members will be cheaper than a PLR site with 50 members. So expect to see a big difference there. Now, ideally, the rights must be non-transferable. You want to join a PLR membership site where people are getting products and not able to sell on the rights themselves. If they can sell the PLR rights, then what you'll find is it'll be a lot cheaper for you to wait another week and buy it off one of the other members when they advertise it with PLR rights. Simply, or join one of the membership sites that feed off that. So you've got to make sure that if you want real value, then the rights must be non-transferable. Always check the rights are on offer, and as I said, some PLR membership sites don't make it very obvious, and it means you've got to really have a hunt around for them. If that's the case, you're going to have to contact them and ask them. If there's no way of contacting them and the rights aren't there and you can't see them, walk away on to the next one, because you're not going to be sure. And as I said, you don't want to try and sell stuff that you don't know how you can sell it. So, you want to make sure, unless you want to use it for your own PLR site, you may run your own PLR membership site, in which case you're going to want transferable rights, aren't you? That's the thing. So always check the rights. If you've got any doubts about them, any doubts about what you can use it for, contact them, ask them. They'll be more than willing to help. I mean, some of them, honestly, I did contact one PLR membership site. I thought, great, they look fantastic, loved the sales letter, was dead interested in it. Contacted them to say, it's not really clear what the rights are. Can you explain what the rights are? Can I do this, this and this? And 2.5 months later I got an answer. And that's a true story. I'm not going to tell you the membership site because I'm not like that, but it took them 2.5 months to answer a simple question on what rights are provided with your products. So, again, I walked off, I joined someone else. I mean, they were a good site, charging a fair amount of money, but I went and joined somebody else's site instead. So always make sure you can contact them. If you can't contact them, then don't join them, because if they won't answer a pre-sales query, they are never ever going to answer anything from a member. Honestly, if they're not interested in dealing with people who want to join and give them money, then they're going to be even less interested in the people who are actually giving them money. You want reliable delivery every month. Before you join any PLR membership site, go and do a quick Google on it, search for reviews, and just see if there's anyone saying, well, it's the second month now and we've not had any products, or whatever it might be. So make sure that the delivery is reliable. What happens quite often with PLR membership sites is they rely on outsourcers. Something happens in the outsourcer's life. It's happened to me, myself. Something happens in the outsourcer's life. They can't perform. They can't deliver. In which case, of course, it's a huge problem. So you got to make sure there's reliable delivery. I mean, we all have things happen in our life that are beyond our control. But at the end of the day, you're running a business, and if you're paying your money, you need to have your products. And if you're finding that there's problems with delivery, it may be time to move on to a different site. You want to also make sure that the delivery timescales are accurate. If they're saying, right, well, I'm going to give you 10 PLR products a month, then you've got to sit there and think, well, is that actually feasible? Is that actually possible to do? When do they deliver the products? What day of the month? Can you make sure that if you get your PLR product on the first of the month, that by the second it's out there earning you money? Is that the sort of thing you could do? But when you choose any PLR membership site, you want the source files. You need the Microsoft Word document, the AVI files, or the Camtasia CamRec files. You want the Photoshop PSD files. All of these means you can edit the original files and source yourself and make changes to them, which of course you really, really want to do. If you don't get those, or you get given the product in a weird format, oh yes, we'll deliver it in OpenOffice, and you don't use OpenOffice, then obviously it's not as much value to you, because you've got to go and install another piece of software which you may not want to use. But you need to make sure that you get all the source files. Without them, it's going to be a struggle for you to actually edit the products properly. It needs to be well written. This goes back to our first point about quality. It's got to be well written. I mean, some PLR products, you read them and you think, my God, my dog could have written a better product than that. Some of them, the language is terrible, the sentence structure is dreadful, the punctuation is non-existent. Some of them are awful. But some of them are very, very good, and you're after the very, very good ones. If they're not well written, then it's going to be a struggle for you to actually make money from it, because you've got to do so much with it. You can't sell it as is if it's not well written. It will ruin your reputation, and you get a massive refund rate. So always make sure that they're well written. Make sure the language is good, make sure that it's unique content, make sure it's not articles just pasted together. And I have seen that before. People have taken articles out, PLR articles, or articles out of article directories, pasted them together and said, here you are, here's a PLR book. That's just plain rubbish. The closer to the complete product it is, the better for you. It means the less you need to do. You want a product, ideally, that you could turn around and sell as is instantly with no changes. If that's the case, then obviously it's going to be really good quality. It's going to save you a lot of time. The further away it is from a complete product, the more work you're going to have to do. If it doesn't have a sales letter, you've got to write a sales letter. If it doesn't have graphics, you've got to get graphics done. If it's in sort of a half-completed raw state, you've got to finish it. So the closer it is to a complete product, the better it is for you. There's less work for you, which means you get the product out a lot quicker. But basically, it really does need to be something that you're happy to sell. Now, I've seen some incredible rubbish out there. I can remember seeing one product that obviously they'd sold master resale rights or PLR rights to, that marketers picked up and sold, and they never even read it. And I can honestly say it was the most dreadful product I'd ever read. I bought it out of curiosity. It was a stupidly low price, which instantly said, danger, danger, it's not going to be very good. But I thought, well, I'm curious, I'm just curious, and I picked it up and had a read through it, and it was dreadful. It did, it promised big things and delivered on none of them. The English was dreadful, the punctuation was terrible, there was no content in there at all. It was literally junk. and people are selling this. So you've got to make sure that you buy stuff that you're going to be happy to sell. You don't want to try palming off rubbish on people, because you're going to get a high number of refunds, and you're going to find you're going to damage your reputation. And in internet marketing, in fact in marketing in any niche, your reputation is absolutely everything. But you also need to make sure that the quality is reliably good as well. You don't want one month to be fantastic, you think great, I found a gold mine, and the next month to think, well, that's only suitable to put in the bottom of the cat's litter tray. You want stuff that's decent quality reliably every single month, and if that's the case, you found a good one that's going to make you some money. But they also have to be in it for a long term. You don't want to join a PLR membership site, get really excited about it, and find in 6 months time it's gone down the pan and disappeared. And it does happen quite often with PLR membership sites. They do have a fairly high turnover rate, because people will start them up and it's a lot of work, lots of money to create a product ready for sale, but they may find that, well, it's costing them $1,000, but they're only getting $500 from the members, and they haven't got time or the ability to market it and get more members. So you've got to make sure that they're established, or that they're in it for the long term, or be prepared if you're not sure that they may disappear at any time. So don't actually rely on them. And also just keep an eye out for problems with delivery. One of the first signs that a PLR membership site is going down the pan is delivery stops or is delayed, and you start getting messages saying, dreadfully sorry, some excuse, the product will be with you in a few days. If that happens more than once or twice, then you can should start raising a red flag, and you possibly ought to start looking for other PLR membership sites, as you may find that one's going to close down very soon. PLR membership sites are a fantastic place to get products from. You can reliably get them every month. You can, even if you get a couple a month, you can use those, and you can use those to create products and sites and to earn from. Very, very powerful, very effective, but you've got to find a good one. And the guidelines in this video will help you to find that good quality PLR membership site. Let's talk now about some of the ways that you can make money with private label rights products. These are some of the most popular ways. Now, firstly, you could create an ebook from it. In all likelihood, it's already been delivered to you as an ebook, so it's fairly easy for you to edit it and then use that as a product. We'll talk more about that obviously in a later slide. The next step is to turn your ebook into a video series. Can it become a video course of some sort? Can you demonstrate the concept, show them the concepts like this, make it into a live action video, whatever it might be? But is there a way for you to turn the product into a video series? Video is perceived as higher value than just a plain ebook, for example, and many people now are really starting to expect video, particularly with the high availability of broadband internet connections. Can you create a membership site based around it? Is it something that will turn into a training course or some sort of membership site? What can you do with it to fit it into the membership site model? If you have a membership site already, can you add the PLR product to that membership site and use it? Can you add it as is, or do you need to edit it, adjust it, or otherwise make it suitable for that site? Could you create an audiobook from it? An audiobook could be burnt onto CD, sold as a physical product, could be listed on Amazon, iTunes and places like that. So could it become an audiobook? The audiobook again could be an upsell, it could be a cross-sell, it could even be the main product. It depends upon your target niche. Can you create a home study course from it? Well, this may mean that you combine a number of different models from here, a number of different PLR products, but can you create a home study course of some sort? A big box through the door with lots of DVDs and videos and all that on it. Is it suitable for something like that, or is it suitable for a much smaller, a Nightingale Conant type home study course? Again, could be sold as a physical product offline if good enough quality. What about also creating a physical product? Could it become a book? A book can be published on Amazon, or Barnes and Nobles as a physical book. It could even be put onto the Kindle or other book reader like that. It could be something sold through small ads, sold through local shops. Could it become a CD or a DVD or something like that? What physical product can you create from it? A physical product could be put on somewhere like Kunaki, Lulu, any print-on-demand service like that, which will allow you to automatically fulfill the delivery without you having to do it yourself. Could you even do something silly like create t-shirts, caps, book, anything like that from it? What physical products could come out of that ebook? Can you create a viral product? A viral product is something that people distribute for you and so get you links through to your site. Very, very good way of getting links and traffic. So could the PLR product become a viral giveaway product? Could it become a list builder? Can you set up a squeeze page and use the PLR product as a giveaway in order to build the list? Would it also work as a training course, either on or offline? Could you take the content of the book and develop it into a seminar, a training course, either for individuals or companies? Would that work? That's a very, very lucrative opportunity if you could do that. Of course, you could turn it into an e-course as well, which is an extension of the training course. But what you might find is that the training course would then use the materials as physical products. You'd use the book as the notes. You may create a video of it, an audio CD and so on, and suddenly you've got a whole home study course. So very, very powerful concept that could potentially be a high-end product for you. Could you use it as website content? Now, I've taken PLR products and I've used them as website content where the rights have permitted it. And there's one or two sites that I've set up that, to be perfectly honest, years later, I've never touched them. They're still earning me money. Absolutely fantastic to use as web content if that's part of the rights. If it's not, you're obviously going to have to rewrite it or find other products. But website content is very, very good use of it. And of course, you can use it as autoresponder content. You could take the PLR content and you could put it into an autoresponder. You could use it as an e-course, a training course, in combination with a list builder and so on. You can use it to build your list, or you can use it to pre-sales or as a post-sales. It really is up to you which one you use it for. But adding it as an autoresponder content is a great way of using it. Again, just check the permissions and the rights associated with it to make sure you can do it. But if you can, it's a fantastic use for PLR. Very quick way of getting an autoresponder sequence together. If you think about it, trying to create an autoresponder sequence of 20 messages, that's a fair bit of writing. If you can reuse PLR, it's going to be a lot quicker. Now, we've talked about some of the different ways for you to make money with PLR here. There's quite a few of them that we've discussed. When it comes to using the PLR, you may choose to use one of these methods. You may choose to use many of them. You may combine them in order to maximize the value to your customers and of course maximize profit in your pocket. So think about that as well. There's potential there for combining these. You could create an ebook, then an audio and video upsell, turn it into a training course, an e-course, maybe turn it into a physical product as well. So awful lot of potential there for what you could do with the private label rights products. What you actually do is entirely up to you, but think about it. Think about maximizing value. Think about what do your customers want. If you can give them what they want and what they need, then you'll make sales. Look at what's going on in the marketplace, look what other people are selling, look what your customers respond to, and then you'll do well with these. But as I said, any one of these methods will make you money with PLR. You may combine them, you may focus on many of them or just one. It's up to you. It depends upon your business model and your target market. If you want to maximize the value of your private label rights offering, then what you need to do is undertake a few steps. If you follow this process and do some or all of what we're talking about in this video, you will maximize the amount of money you will make when you sell this product. Not just because the product itself will be worth more, but because you'll make more sales from it. Now, what we're going to talk about in this video is things that probably 95% of marketers who buy PLR products don't do. Remember, 70 to 80% of people who buy PLR never do anything with it. Most of those that do don't do anything other than just stick it on their website. So we're going to show you how to make yourself stand out from the crowd and potentially make an awful lot more money through proper use of private label rights. Now firstly, you need to create new graphics. If there's a private label rights release, everyone's going to use the same graphics. Some people may change the title on it, but they'll still use the same graphics. Remember, if people are looking for information, they want to solve a problem, they don't buy the first product they come along. They don't go, yeah, that will do, off they go. They research. They're likely to look at a number of products. What's going to happen if they look at lots of products and they all look the same? They're likely not to buy them, or they'll pick one based on the price. And if yours isn't the cheapest, then you won't sell it. However, if you've got different graphics, a different title, and it looks different when they get there, then they're going to assume that your product is different, and you may find there's a higher chance of them actually buying it because of that difference. The next step is to rewrite the sales letter. Now, this may sound like a lot of work, but again, people will see the sales letter, and if it reads exactly the same, they're going to go, oh, well, it's the same as that other product. And again, you're going to lose out. So what you need to do is rewrite the sales letter, change the headline, change the layout, change a lot of the text, add some bonuses to it, and so on. And if you do that, you'll find, again, you'll make more sales, because not all PLR products have good sales letters. Quite often the sales letters aren't written by professionals. They're written by just normal people who are producing the PLR. So often a rewrite will actually help boost sales. If you add bonuses to it and include these in the sales letter that are valuable, they add value to that whole sales process. Again, you're going to be able to get more for the product. People look at the bonuses, and that helps determine whether it's worth the price. In fact, in some cases, people will only buy a product because of the bonuses. That has been known. But you've got to make sure the bonuses aren't any old rubbish. Maybe you've made them out of PLR yourself. But make sure they're valuable and they're relevant to the actual product itself. Add some of those, and that again will help increase the value of it. Add extra information into the product. Either create videos or audio about it, or one of my favourite tricks is if I've got 4 or 5 books on a subject, I'll combine the whole lot to create one really good monster book. Take PLR articles or other information that you've researched and found in the niche and include that in your product to make it stand out, to make it look different, to make it have more information. You want to have the edge over the competition, and that's one way of doing it. An audio version is also perceived as valuable. That could be a bonus or it could be an upsell. You could read the book yourself using a microphone and recording software, or alternatively you could quite simply outsource that and pay a voiceover artist to do it for you. Whichever, then that's potential. Again, that adds value. Maybe instead of selling the ebook, you'd actually just sell the audio version with the ebook thrown in as a transcription. A video version again would work. You can combine the three, maybe sell the video course rather than the actual ebook, and maybe include the ebook again as a bonus, as a transcription or something like that. Again, if people see a product in video, they're going to think it's instantly more valuable than just a plain ebook. It's just natural perception. But the key is for you to make it unique and for you to stand out from the crowd. That's what you're doing in the whole of this process. You're taking the private label rights product and making it your own so that you are the only one with that product. And if you do that, you're going to stand out from the crowd and you're going to find you'll make more sales. As I said, remember, if people are researching, they will look at lots of products. If they see a dozen of them are pretty much the same graphics, same title, same headline, then all they're competing on is price. If yours looks different, has much more in it, and has a video and audio as well, then obviously you've got a big edge on the competition and don't have to compete on price. Whereas the rest will be trying to drop their prices as low as they can in order to make sales. You can probably increase yours because it's a different product, and that puts you at the forefront of the marketplace, and so you'll make more money. If you follow the herd with PLR, you're going to struggle to sell your product. Remember, of the people that do use the PLR, most of them will not make any changes. I know I've sold PLR products in the past, and I can go and do a Google right now and I could show you 24 or more pages, in fact probably most of the top 100 results of people selling my product but then they haven't made a single change to the actual web page. It's exactly as is. And I can tell you that I know that product in particular sells, there's somebody selling it for $1, and there's other people trying to sell it for $47. You can see it's all exactly the same. They haven't even changed the sales page. In fact, in quite a few of these, it's still got all the pink text in it where people have to put their own details in. One or two of them actually have my name on. So, you know, following the herd is not going to make it easy for you to sell money. You've got to stand out from the crowd. And doing that will make you much more profit. A unique product will be much easier for you to sell into the marketplace. You've got to be creative. As I said, this is the whole stepping away from the herd mentality. Be creative. Think about what you're doing and how you can deliver it with maximum value, maximum intensity for people. You've got to make sure that they're going to get full value from it. So what can you do that is going to make it the most valuable product they can possibly own? Can you make it quicker, easier, whatever? What can you do? Can you automate it more for them? Add value to it, and it will add value to your bottom line. But in order to do this and to really maximize value, you have to understand your target market. You need to know who they are, what they want, what problems they have, what their pain is, and what solutions they're after, and then you need to give it to them. A good understanding of your target market will mean you can meet their needs and so maximize your sales and your profit. You've got to understand what problems they are experiencing, what pain have they got, what solutions are they after. All of this is information that you have to know to fully understand them and to make sales to them. If you don't know it, then you're going to struggle to meet their needs by solving the problems they're experiencing. You've got to ensure that a product is focused on their wants. And let's think about this a minute, needs and wants. Do people buy what they need? Well, no, they don't. People buy what they want. So you've got to make sure that you differentiate between them. Don't try and meet their needs, address their needs, but meet their wants. Think about it. Do you need a 52-inch plasma television in your house? No, you don't. But you may well have one because you want it. In fact, you may not be able to afford to put food on the table, but because you wanted your satellite TV system with high definition, you've managed to get that, but you can't feed your family. So you see that quite often. People will spend money on their wants and ignore their needs. So you need to understand what do they want. And that again is going to help you to create a product that's of maximum value to your potential market, which means it's more profitable for yourself. You do have to target your market precisely. You need to understand them, know who they are, know what they want, focus on them, and if you do that, then you're going to make a profit. You're going to stand out from the crowd, you're going to be more likely to make sales. It's going to make a big difference for you marketing PLR products. Now, what we've talked about in this video, the majority of marketers will not do. They will ignore it. I'm going to tell you that straight up right now. Most marketers will not bother doing any of this. You do this, you are going to stand out from the crowd and you are going to maximize your potential revenue from your product, and that is what you want. No course about PLR products would be complete without a discussion on PLR articles. In this video I want to talk to you about PLR articles and how to use them. Many people just ignore them and don't bother using them. They stockpile them on their hard drive thinking that one day I'll do something with them, and they never do. But PLR articles are extremely good for you. They're very, very profitable if you use them well. Now, PLR articles are good to use as a foundation for web content and for site promotion. You can use them for both. Absolutely fantastic. It's a real quick way to get access to high quality articles for a very, very small price. In order for you to really use them effectively, you're going to have to rewrite them. Many article directories, including the big ones, will not accept PLR articles. You also want to have unique content on your website, really, if you want maximum value from that. Now, my personal favourite way of rewriting a PLR article is I put it in my spinner and I set up the spinner, and then basically you spin the article and it's completely new, and you don't have to go through and rewrite it and then spin it. That's my personal preference. What yours is, that's up to you. You may just want to rewrite it and use it once. I tend to spin all my articles, and then I use a unique version pretty much everywhere I use it. Article spinners are fantastic for that. The spinner itself isn't really that important. Anyone will do. What you're really after, though, is being able to spin things well yourself. If you're spinning something well yourself, you have to have a high degree of uniqueness. So this means you don't just rewrite each sentence, you rewrite components within each sentence. So for example, this sentence here can use an article spinner. You may well spin this to say, you may spin the first two words here. So can use would become can use, it is possible to use, you may want to use, and so on and so forth. What you can also do is spin contractions. So can't becomes can't and cannot. What you're looking to do with a spinner is to change the length of the sentence. You don't want every sentence to be pretty much the same length. You want them to vary quite a lot, and by spinning it like that, then you will get unique articles. I mean, it takes me half an hour to 45 minutes to spin an article, and you may go, that's a long time, but I can then generate pretty much as many articles as I want, and they are completely unique. I mean, the articles are spun by about 300% when I do that, so it takes a long time. I've got to produce something like 300 or 400 articles or more before they get any similarity in them. You want to change your articles by at least 50% really. The more the merrier. An article spinner makes this very easy for you to do. If you make these changes, they're going to be unique, they're going to get accepted in all the article directories. The search engines are also going to see them as unique. Once you have your articles, you can submit them to article directories in order to gain backlinks and traffic to your website. If you've created a product with an information product, like we've discussed in this video, then you can use the articles to point to that site in order to get it up in the search engines and get traffic. You can use an automated tool to submit to the article directories, and to be honest, it's worthwhile. It's not worth submitting to most of them manually. Always do easyinarticles.com manually, and maybe a couple of the other big ones, Go Articles, Search Warp, iSnare, Article Dashboard, places like that you could do manually if you wanted, or you could just use a tool and submit it out anyway. It's entirely up to you. Submission tool will save you a lot of time. Test a few out, make sure you find one that is fully automatic. There are tools now, there's one or two that will sign up for all the sites for you. They will click on the confirmation emails and so on and so forth, and that is an incredible time saver. The first article submission tool I used, I had to go to 700 article directories and create an account manually, and it was a nightmare. It took me 2 days, so that put me off submission tools for a long time, but now they'll do all that automatically for you. So make sure it's fully automated. You don't want to have to go and manually create the accounts if you can help it. Once that you have them rewritten, you can use them as content on your website. One thing that you can do is use PLR articles as is as content on your website. If your website is based on AdSense or something like that, it's just an information website, then there's nothing wrong with using PLR articles as is. Now what I would recommend is that you use a mixture of unique content and PLR articles, and that way you'll stand out in the search engines. You can just build a site from PLR if you want to, but it's better for you if you can put a bit of unique content in there. I found from testing you tend to rank better. But you can create Web 2.0 sites like Squidoo, Hub Pages and so on and so forth using PLR articles. Very quick, very easy way to get a site up there and pointing to your website. At the end of the day, they're not about traffic, they're about getting backlinks, so pretty much whatever you put on there doesn't matter. So PLR is great to put on there, and you can turn around these sites really quickly. If you don't want to rewrite them or spin them yourself, then hire someone. You can find somebody on one of the forums that will do a rewrite for, you know, $3 or $4, if that. Again, if you're rewriting a lot and several hundred, that can add up. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not your time spent doing it. So if you've got the money, you may want to look at hiring people to do the rewrites. Using PLR articles as part of an article marketing strategy can end up earning you a very good passive income. It can help your sites get to the top of the search engines, and it can help you make money from free organic search engine traffic. And ultimately, that's what you want. So if you're going to use PLR articles, rewrite them, use them as we've discussed in this video, and distribute them to as many places as you can in order for you to get backlinks and boost your site up the search engine rankings. Rewrite some articles, get them out there. It will save you a lot of time, and it will get you ranking well. And the more traffic you get from that, of course, the more you're going to earn. And there's nothing wrong with using these to point through to your brand new information product you've created from PLR. Private label rights products are a very valuable resource for you. They can be used to really increase your profits, and many people have built businesses based on the back of PLR products. It reduces the time it takes you to get to market, and so speeds up your product development. Instead of taking a week or two to create a product, you can create a product or two in a day with PLR, sometimes even quicker if you're not going to bother rewriting them. If you want to maximize the value, of course you'll rewrite them, and that way you have unique products that can earn you lots of money. It allows you to target multiple niches at once, so instead of developing one product per niche every 1 or 2 weeks, in a day you could get products into half a dozen niches and start making money from them. It's incredibly powerful. It's a cheap way for you to use expert writers, designers, authors, and so on and so forth. You get access to people that are good in their field for pennies on the dollar. You really do. It's ridiculous how cheap you can find some good quality PLR, and it allows you to access these highly skilled people for that minimal price. If you use PLR properly, it can end up being extremely profitable for you. Many people either don't bother using PLR, or they just use it as is and don't realize that they're losing out on an awful lot of money by not taking just a few minutes, a few hours to customize the PLR product and make it unique. If you're going to do this, you need to find good quality PLR. There is a lot of PLR sites out there. Many of them are complete and utter junk, but there are some really, really good ones, and those are the ones that you're after. You want to find the high quality PLR products and use those in order for you to make money. The more of those that you can find, the better. Remember, high quality PLR is worth the extra price. It means there's less work for you to do rewriting it, and it's going to be in a more ready to sell state. So it basically means it's going to be better quality, it's going to be worth more money to your target market. In this video we talked about all the different ways of monetizing your products. You can create books, audio, video, membership sites, autoresponder sequences, training courses, offline physical products, and so on and so forth. You can create from a single PLR product. You could do one of those or all of them. It depends upon the market, it depends upon what the market wants, it depends upon how the market responds to the product. So if it sells well, then you can think, right, great, I'll create higher end products. If it doesn't seem to sell very well, then you can just move on, knowing you haven't invested a lot of time and money in creating the product. So it's very, very good for that. But think outside the box and think about how you can present the material to your target market in order to provide maximum value both for you and for them. Before you reuse any PLR, make sure you rewrite it. The temptation will be just to stick it on your website as is and hope for the best, but then all you're doing is competing with everybody else that's done that, and the only thing you can compete with is either by adding lots of bonuses or on price, and at the end of the day most people may well end up just looking at price. So if you rewrite it, redo the graphics, the sales letter and so on, you'll end up with a unique product. That unique product is then yours, it's unique in the marketplace, and that's going to mean you will make more sales from it. It's going to be better for you as a product owner, more profitable. PLR products are a fantastic way for you to create niche sites very quickly, or to promote affiliate products or your own products, or even to add content to your own websites. You can do any of those with PLR articles. I'd highly recommend you rewrite them first, particularly if you're submitting them to article directories, as many article directories will refuse to accept PLR articles that haven't been rewritten. So you do need to do that. But you can put them into a spinner or something like that. PLR products can add a lot of value to your business if you rewrite the articles and use them correctly. Article marketing is still the heart of many online businesses. It's still a great way to make money, and so using them on Web 2.0 properties, on your own sites and so on, can make you a lot of money. But the key to success is to take action. I would be willing to put money on the fact that you have at least one PLR product on your hard drive. In fact, maybe two, maybe more. In fact, it's probably quite a few. Let's face it, we're internet marketers and most of us have hard drives full of PLR products. So what you need to do is pick one, find one, follow through the steps in this course and take action and get it earning. You have all the tools now from this course in order to make money with PLR products. All you need to do now is to pick that product, any one, doesn't matter which one. Do your research, do what we've talked about, rewrite it, get it onto a website, get it earning money. So now the key is for you to go and take that action, take that product, make it profitable. When you've done that, move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you are making sales every single day from all of your products. And then you will be doing really, really well. You have everything you need now, so go and take that action. Go and make those sales and succeed with your PLR products.